What's going on, guys? In this video, we're going back to the North Dallas Toy Show. Now, we got there a little bit later than we normally do, so I wasn't really expecting to come across too many deals. But again, you never know with a small show like that. This show happens the first Saturday of every month here in DFW. So sometimes there's new vendors and they're looking to just blow out of their inventory. And at the end of the day, you could get an even bigger discount because they just want to get it out. They don't want to load it up later. So let's test out the GoPro and see what we can find at the North Dallas Toy Show. Right off the bat here, it's super windy at the Celebration Event Center in Plano, Texas. And going in, we run across one of the Sickened Jokin variants from the Arkham City line of action figures. But the kids are about to blow away, so we're going to head inside. We go inside, we go right to the right room, and we see our homie Frank Castle over there in the corner. Going to say what's up to him. And he's got a really cool Flintstones VHS over behind his shoulder. But Dalton's like, we're here to hunt toys. What are we doing? Let's go. I got to check this thing out first. It is super sweet. Now, this is kind of a rare VHS because it's a promotional use only copy. And I'm checking it out. It's something you don't see every day. But for whatever reason, I don't pick it up right now. I was planning on going back, but I completely forgot about it. Here we have some Creepy Crawlers goop. This is vintage goop that you would use to put into the machine and make some creepy crawlers of your own. The boys are doing some shopping, trying to figure out what they're going to pick up. They're looking at a Stan from South Park Goth Funko Pop, and they're making decisions. Head over here, and I see a Godzilla miniature playset. Kind of like the Mighty Max playsets, but Godzilla themed. I would have picked it up, but it didn't have any of the smaller figures with it, and I do not feel like trying to complete it later. So we're going to head into the main room, and to the left, I always know that there's going to be a booth set up with some vintage goodness, and I was not disappointed again. They got some Street Sharks. Now, Street Sharks is a line that I've gone through a few times. I've had them, I sold them, I've had them, I sold them, but right now I'm kind of working on building up a collection of them slowly but surely, checking out some of the ones that he's got to offer. That one's gnarly, but I forget which piece he's missing, and I do not want to deal with it later. So I'm kind of looking at the two big boys right there. So check it out. We're going to do a little bit of digging, see if there's any TMNT or random vintage 90s, 80s action figures that we'll add to the collection. I spot something over here. Now this is vintage Black Star. This one was almost a pickup for me, but he was a little bit on the rougher side. The boys finding some cool turtles. Set over that Boss Man to put it over with his other Hasbros, and then Dalton really likes the colorful figures, so he sees that Sewer Surfer Mikey. This is a cool one, and this one is from the Force of Freedom Mad Dog. So it's a vintage figure, not something that I'm collecting right now, so we'll pass on it, and I just keep going back to the Street Sharks. I'm trying to decide between that one and the one in front of them. Over here, I see some guys looking at these figures, and that pulls my attention immediately. I think these things are super cool. They're kind of like the Spider-Man Hulk mashup, but this is from a line from Toy Biz, Spider-Man Arachnophobia, Man Lizard. So this one, as soon as I saw it, I didn't even need to do a price check. I thought, I think I want to get this thing in the collection. So I look at that, and then I look at the shark and see if I can make a deal. He's got 30 on one, 50 on the other. I offer 70 for both, and boom, we got a deal. So there's our first pickup at the North Dallas Toy Show. And then, of course, if I see some Simpsons, I'm going to take a look and see if it's anything that the homie Boston Mike needs. Walking around, Dalton's a big Godzilla fan, so he spots this awesome Godzilla. It is gigantic, though. These things are, I admire them a lot, but I do not have any room in our collection for something of that size. The tail just reaches back way too far, and you need a very deep shelf. So we head over to one of the homies that always has the vintage goodness, and I see these Walmart Batman and Robin, or the New Adventures of Batman and Robin action figures. And I want to take a closer look at these. These are something that I'm kind of interested in. Maybe I'll get into them someday. This one I think is my favorite from the ones that they had to offer, the Batman and Superman mashup, because the Batman and Superman animated series, I really like the designs with them, and I think the figures are super cool. These are from 2001, so not super vintage, but also not super new, and something that you don't really run into every day. I may regret walking away from these ones, so we'll see if I ever run into them again. What do you think, Noah? Dalton's ready. He's doing some math. He's trying to figure out what he wants. And we're just going to go ahead and keep moving. Oh, wait. We got some Secret Wars. Now, I'm getting to a point in my Secret Wars collection that I don't need that many, so it is hard to run across the ones that I need. Walk through a little bit more of the show, kind of taking a look at what they got. There's so many modern action figure sellers at this show, but there's always good deals, so if that's what you're into, then this is definitely a show that's worth checking out. This guy right here, I forget his story, but I know he worked on some horror movies, and this thing we're going to kind of peek around and look at has a pricey tag on it, but I believe it was a prop in the Gingerbread Man versus the Evil Bong, something like that. So that's a really cool piece, and he's always got good deals on stuff, so this is always a table that's worth taking a look at. This UFO caught my attention because I really like these older UFO style toys. Leviathan at the North Dallas Toy Mall has some really cool pieces, and that's what started me on kind of looking for more of them. But this is actually a Rick and Morty piece. I had no idea. If you look in there, you could see Rick and Morty flying that UFO. Something that's super cool, but I think I saw a squirrel and started looking at something else. There we go. That's for all you guys. And this really, really cool animation cell from Disney. I thought that was cool. I think they framed it really nice. Check out some of this older stuff up here. Noah's not impressed, but I thought he would like that thing. And then we're going to peek around. Oh, look at the Nightmare on Elm Street trading cards. Probably should have picked them up. I didn't, because again, I probably saw a squirrel. We got a Funko Pops wall set up right here. Right in front of it, we have a TMNT certified animation cell of Rocksteady. That's pretty awesome. Kind of hard for me to collect because I don't like buying those things and then just putting them in boxes. But the Speed Racer car is awesome. And I think the figures are the most rare thing about that right there. He did have another one set off to the side. If you can see the box right there by Dalton's hand, and Dalton's checking out this Hot Wheels set. But yeah, that Speed Racer set is something that now that I've seen it, I think I'm gonna try to hunt down a couple pieces. I'm a little bit nostalgic for him. Dalton sees himself in the mirror and he wants to jump into a portal, but Noah wants to go see what Mom and Olivia are up to. They're getting some toys, and then I get distracted again by a Transformer for whatever reason. I've been on a Transformer kick lately, and I'm checking this one out. It is a reissue, obviously. I mean, that's probably more obvious to you guys that collect Transformers, but to me, I'm still learning a lot about them. I run across this Mach 5, another Speed Racer car. This one's a model kit, and he only had 15 on it, and we cut a deal. He said, take it for $10, and I said, all right, why not? So this is something that I wanted to pick up just in case one of my boys wanted to put this together with me. I thought that would be a fun little project. All right, so this guy's awesome. He's always got good stuff. Probably the best table to pick from at the North Dallas Toy Show. Steph sees this vintage bell, which we think is really cool. Oh, we got to test it, so we know that it works. We know that it's good. I think this is going to be a pickup. It's just one of those unique pieces that you don't see very often, and Halloween decorations are a fun little thing to collect. But yeah, this guy's table always has a little bit of everything, like that big boy little PVC figurine right over there, and then he's got this really cool sticker book. They're used stickers, but they're all vintage stickers, so I guess somebody that collected stickers throughout the last few decades was putting them in there. So that's a pretty cool little find. And snow globes are always fun to check out. So here's Dalton shaking the crap out of the snow globe, see if the snow still works, and yeah, it does. All right, we're making a deal on the bell. We need the bell. We're not going to leave the North Dallas Toy Show without this thing. So $5 deal, you can't beat it. There you go. And here are some Super Nintendo. I do have a Super Nintendo set up in the collection room, so I'm always interested in seeing the prices and trying to get to know the market a little bit better on Super Nintendo things. But for whatever reason, I'm kind of set on doing my Super Nintendo hunting with Craig. So I'm going to wait for NARC before I pick up any more Super Nintendo pieces. That way we could kind of hunt them together. Some trading cards. Why not check out a couple WWE trading cards since it is WrestleMania weekend. Make our way over here. Dalton's going to go around the corner, but I get distracted by this My Pit monster. Now, this stage setup, there is always vintage goodness. Always. These guys hunt all over the U.S. to try to find really good pieces to bring to the show every time, and they never disappoint. There's always something really cool. That Shogun Warrior over there, I think, was only missing like one missile to be complete. Here's some other cool pieces like that gold label Batman animated series up there. And then I catch a glimpse at some vintage Safubi and then some of the more modern Safubi that they have to offer. Now, Safubi is basically Japanese for soft vinyl, and it is a very expensive thing to get into collecting. So I do have a pretty decent little Safubi collection, but I do it very slow because, again, it is expensive, and I like some of the bigger pieces, and whenever I'm going to pick it up, I need to make sure that I have somewhere in my collection that I can move things around and make room for it. These are newer Kong Safubi pieces, and they run anywhere between $350 to $500. So again, very expensive, but super unique and always a good discussion piece for your collection room. Walk around a little bit more, and then we see some more vintage goodness, but we see this big bag of Smurfs. And even though we know that our friend may have some in his collection already, we still want to try to army build these Smurfs holding the beer mug. So we take a look in there, but we don't see anything. Now, again, this is one of the vendors at the North Dallas Toy Show that's always going to have the heat in terms of vintage toys. So if you go there wanting to add a grill piece to your collection, that's a good spot to start. Walking out, though, I see this. Now, this is a Micro Machines type playset, or a micro playset, rather. Star Wars, the Death Star Escape. I see a $40 sticker on it, and I know right off the bat if that thing's complete, then that's a good deal, so I picked that thing up. Here's some more modern figures as we make our way back around at the table that we started it at, and we see those Simpson things are still there, but I think they are ones that Mike already has in the collection. That mask piece is something that I may regret not picking up later, but I feel really happy with the items that I did get from him. Now it's time for Noah to make his decision on what he's going to get, and he already knows. He's good. He knows how to do a lap around the show, kind of pick out a few items, and then go back to make a deal on them. And he remembers exactly where they're at every single time. So boom, Noah figures it out, and he makes a deal with the vendor, and he picks himself up this sweet Pokemon Bulbasaur, kind of like Mega Connects type thing. So he's going to go ahead and build that over this weekend. Boom. Happy kid. Right before we leave, I want to check this out one more time. Now, I cannot remember if I have Daredevil in my collection already, so I ended up passing on him. All right, guys, and that will do it for this trip to the North Dallas Toy Show. This one was a solo hunt I did with the family. We had a good time, and then we got to go to Bed Bath & Beyond. We stopped at Home Depot. Had a nice little Saturday, actually. So before I hop off, I want to show you guys what I got from the show. Now, you saw me pick them up, but first off was this Star Wars Micro Collection, and this is the Death Star Escape Action Playset. It is not perfect. It is open. However, it is complete in here, and some of the things are still in their plastic wrapping. So at $40, this was an absolute steal. So I'm super happy to have this one. And I think I might build it and put it next to the really big Death Star that I got over there. So thank you so much for the vendor that hooked me up on this one. Then, because I had a little bit of nostalgia for Speed Racer, I had to go ahead and pick up one of them. I didn't go with the big boy one yet because that one is pretty expensive. I will get it eventually, but I started off with this model kit, and I think this thing's super sweet. We are going to open it up and build it, and then I'll have a Speed Racer Mach 5 car in the collection. I really love the collecting the older vehicles. I think they're fun. And then one of my favorite pickups is this guy. So I paid up for him. This is generally what they go for, but you don't see them very often, so I figured this was a good opportunity to get it in person and also support a local vendor. Look at how sick this thing is. Man lizard with creepy crawly action. You don't need batteries. There's a wind up on the back, and then you could spin it. But this thing, I mean, the artwork, everything about it, displays perfect. So I'm not taking it out of the box. This will stay just as is. And I'm super pumped to have gotten this one in the collection. And then 1 second, because I forgot to show you the Street Shark. So wait. First pickup of the North Dallas Toy Show that I got with the Spider-Man is this Street Shark. So I got this and Spider-Man for $70. Super happy. He's pretty clean, couple marks, but I don't care. These Street Sharks were played with. I don't need accessories with them. They go on the shelf. They look dope no matter what. So super excited to be building a new Street Shark / Extreme Dinosaur collection. And then maybe one day I will join Froggy Flips and NARC in owning a muscle mutt. So make sure that you got those notifications on if you guys want to see some of the hauls or some of the videos that don't necessarily fit the main channel. They're going to be right here on this channel. Stay tuned because we have some awesome content coming your way on the main channel. We have a documentary that we're going to be putting out very soon, so stay tuned to Back Alley Toys' Instagram, Not Another Retro Channel's Instagram, the main channel, Not Another Retro Channel, and you're going to find out all the info you need to watch that stuff. We will see you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace.